People, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Buki. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Come closer, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're an old subscriber, welcome back as well. On the channel today, I want to talk about something that I think is very, very, very important in every walk of life, right? In your personal life, like, family, relationships with people. And what I'll be talking about today is consistency. This is a very, very, very important topic, right? For everything, whether your romantic relationships or, you working or like your life, and you have to even be consistent in your own life, like as a person, right? So I just wanted to talk about this. And this is something that I have been practicing myself for years, right? And as a matter of fact, some people call me queen of consistency. So I'm just going to be sharing my journey so far, why I decided or I made up my mind to be consistent, and why consistency is very, very, very important. So please keep watching this video. Consistency is a topic I can talk about even in my sleep. Like, I always have the right words, and this is something I preach to myself, my friends, and people that care to listen. Consistency brings results. Like, you might not see it right now, but it does. So let's talk about what is consistency. So basically, consistency is doing something, over and over, like, the same way, or just doing something over and over for you, like to the point where you achieve desired results. It might not even necessarily be about results. It might just be who you are, or like, I say, your approach to life, or you just want to be consistent. Like, you're someone that sticks to your words, like, your actions. You just have to show people how consistent you are. So for me, right, I'm sure by now you guys kind of like have an idea, like, what my journey has been like, from medical school to Nigeria, now in America, like grad school. I feel like there is something God is trying to do, right? There is, God has committed a lot into my hands and I cannot play, right? And I feel like there is something, like, it is really beyond me. And I'm not even talking about content creation right now. Even in other areas of my life, as a friend, trust me, I am consistent. As a sister, I am consistent, or I should be consistent. As a daughter, like, I would try to, I am consistent. As even in romantic relationships, I'm someone that I take it personal. Like, I take it personal. Like, I will be like, in everything I do, even like work, I am consistent. I am diligent. Like, I don't see any reason why. I'm not the kind of person that I'll start something and then I'll just leave it out for no. I must see it through till the very, very end. Like, I must. So it is a lifestyle, and I feel like it is also like all part of my purpose. Like, everything God has committed into my hands, right, requires consistency. Let me put it that way. When I started out content creation, I was probably like still maybe 16 then, like when I went to Ukraine, 17, right? And I just made up my mind that whatever I was doing, like, taking pictures, everything, when I was like quite young then, I just knew that it was something I needed to do, or something I would be interested in doing for a really long time. And I feel like that was when I kind of like had the vision and I knew this was something I needed to pursue, right? So I think it was at that point I made up my mind that it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter where I am in regards to content creation, right? I will be consistent, and I would also apply that to other areas of my life. Having lived across 3 continents, Europe, America, Africa, content creation, right, is something that has remained constant in my life through the good, the bad, the days I am struggling, the days I don't even want to talk to anybody, the days I'm crying. Like, I want to create. I believe, like, no matter what. And consistency is not just when you're feeling good. Even in the bad, you have to choose to remain consistent, because that is what brings results. Even the Bible says, seest thou a man who is diligent in his works, it will stand before kings and not mere men, right? You can't stand before kings if you're not consistent, honestly speaking. Like, if you're not diligent, like, you have to be consistent. You have to be, like, when you're trying to achieve certain things in life, right? You have to be consistent. Okay, let's even talk about, like, let's take it from the romantic relationship, angle, right? If you're a guy and you're trying to, approach a babe and that you claim you like, and you're inconsistent, she's not even going to take you seriously. And I feel like that's how so many people kind of like ruin relationships, because they're not consistent enough to pursue what they actually want. So not being consistent in every area, every aspect of your life is like, how do I put it? You have to make a decision to be consistent, right? It could be like you're not consistent because of certain issues, trauma or whatever personal issues going on with you, but you like it's a decision, it's a choice you have to make. You have to choose to be consistent. While prepping my notes and getting ready to come and talk about consistency, I was gonna say, okay, consistency, why it is important to be consistent as a content creator, but I was just looking at my life in general, like not just about being a content creator and in other areas. So whether you're a content creator, you're a 9-to-5er, whatever it is you're doing, you're a career person, consistency is very, very important in all areas of life. And that's why I decided not to make this focus on just being for content creators, right? Even though I'm going to be using myself as an example. Yes, I'm not just a content creator. I am a medical doctor as well. I am a public health professional. Imagine if I wasn't consistent, like, with my studies, with lectures, would I have graduated? If I wasn't doing the right things I was supposed to do, I probably wouldn't have graduated. I probably would have had issues in school. Consistency yields results. So now let's talk about consistency as a content creator. Like, for me as a person, I already stated that I chose to be consistent. Like, it was a decision I made considering, the vision I have, like the things God has committed into my hands, knowing where I am going, right? And one thing is, I'm someone that is quite multi-talented, and content creation is one of the many things God has committed into my hands, God has blessed me with. And if you remember, one thing, like with consistency, the parable of the talents is something that always rings a bell in my head. Like, okay, in the Bible, like the parable of the talents, there was a master was traveling, and then he gave unto one of his servants. Like, someone had 5 talents, another 4, another 3, another 2, another 1, and that just shows like the many talents God has committed into us. I'd like to mention that when I started content creation, right, it started as a hobby, just doing my thing, and along the line, I found out that, or I realized that you can actually make money from doing something that you love, which is what some people are doing right now. People are posting content on YouTube, they're making passive income. Guys, wealthy people have more than one source of income. You have to be consistent. And for me, right, I also believe that one of the things I'm also meant to do is to finance, to be a kingdom financier, right? And more wealthy people have more than one source of income. So one of the things I say to myself is, if I want to sponsor the gospel, if I want to do things for people like, the less privileged, it doesn't have to be just from the money I make from 9 to 5. It could also be money from my side hustle, like being a content creator. Like, content creators are cashing out like big time. And how have they been able to achieve that? By being consistent. So if I have such, really big, vision, like, ideas to fund the gospel, to help people that are less privileged and everything, like, and I want to be wealthy, and God has given me more than one source or more than one talent, then I might as well use that so that I can make good money to sponsor the gospel. So that is one of the reasons why I decided that, okay, you have to be consistent. Even when you're tired, you have to show up, because you have like long-term goals. Maybe some of them are also short-term, but there's work to be done. So I just wanted to share like some benefits of being consistent, or why it is important to stay consistent. So number one, as a content creator, even as a person, you will be on top of mind, like, people, right? So for example, let me use romantic relationship as an example. Or let's say like a girl is being approached by maybe 4 or 5 different men, right? And we're not saying you should be desperate, right? You're consistent enough to show that you want her, right? She would always remember the efforts, like how consistent you are. Then I'm talking as a content creator as well. When brands are looking for influencers and content creators to use, they'll be like, oh, this person has been consistent. They're coming to your page. They say like, you're active, you're posting, doing all of these things, you're showing up. Like, so when they actually need you, you'll be one of the influencers or creators they will shortlist for whatever campaign they plan to do. So why it is also important to stay consistent is that, as a content creator, your community can trust you to always show up. If you've been consistent, like if you've been doing something like from the days of little beginnings, you've grown, you've improved, they can trust that, oh, if this person is talking about beauty, if she recommends the products, the likes of Jackie I, if she recommends the products, I'm going to buy it. Because you've shown them times without number. You've shown them over and over that you're someone they can count on. So, and consistency builds trust, either as a content creator, either as a friend, either as a potential partner, even at your workplace. Consistency builds trust. Another benefit of consistency I have noticed is that there is growth. Like, when you look back at how far you have come, like when you started, whatever it is, like, whether, let's say, when you got into a company, you like from an entry level job, right, and then you get to mid level, like, senior level, you become a manager and all of that. You can see how you have grown. You didn't just abandon whatever it is, like, okay, I'm not doing this again. Like, so you can see growth. I have grown in every area, in every aspect of my life, like personally, emotionally, financially, like, and being consistent has opened my eyes to so many things. It has taught me a lot of things about myself, about people I get to work with. Consistency brings growth. Like, you might not think you're growing, but the way you approach certain things, as you keep showing up or as you keep growing, you'll be able to see like how far you have come. This brings me to the next one. Consistency brings about discipline. Oh my goodness, like, I am someone who is disciplined on a normal day, but like, I am much more disciplined with my time when I'm creating things I am doing, like, I am much more disciplined. Like, okay, like, I have to, like today now, guys, when I was trying to film this content, like the plan was to film 2 videos today, but by the time I woke up, things were not just going how I wanted them to go. And I was like, you know what? I probably might just move this content creation to like sometime during the week or next. I said, no, you have to see, it doesn't matter if you're sad or whatever it is, you have to create this content today, because that was the plan for today. That was the plan for today. And no one is going to come and save you. Guess what? Took a shower, did my my makeup, and decided to stand on business, get on my Zoom, and here I am. Like, when you're consistent, you're disciplined enough to say, no, I have to do this. You have, like, you show up for yourself, and you showing up for yourself consistently just also shows how you will show up for other people. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Of course it does. Having talked about, benefits or why it is important to be consistent, I feel like there are no cons to why you should be consistent. Like, I feel like there are more of like, pros. Like, there is growth, and when you're consistent, more opportunities will find you, because you don't want to be absent, or you don't want to be MIA when brands or people are looking for people, people in your field, they're looking for people to reach out to come and give talks, or people to come and just train other people, and you're nowhere to be found. So if you're not consistent, it's like, consistency basically has more pros. I don't even think it has any cons. I think that it is something we should all try to do, like in anything, even if it has to do with washing your hair, taking care of your hair. You have to be consistent for you to even see growth. You can't just, leave it like that. Even with skincare, you have to be consistent with skincare, like, for you to see desired results, right? You have to be consistent in every area, in every aspect of your life. So having talked about like benefits of, being consistent, or like why you should be consistent, I would like to share some tips to staying consistent. Because the truth is, I mean, like, life can get in the way. Like, there's so many things. There's so many times like I'm like, I don't want to write blog posts. I don't want to do this. I'm going through like the worst situations, and I probably do not want to talk to anybody. But I'm just like, I know like you're not, feeling the best or whatever it is. But I will still try to create, to do what I'm supposed to do, right? Because I want to have like, long-term goals. And it's just like a lifestyle right now. I think it is really just beyond me. Like, I have no other option than to stay consistent. I feel like I'm not even going to be okay if I'm not consistent. Does that make sense? So one of the tips to staying consistent, especially as a creator, you have to decide to stay consistent. I feel like you need to have a conversation with yourself and understand what consistency means, what you're trying to achieve, why it is very important for you to be consistent. I feel like that's the first thing. Secondly, whatever area, whatever it is you want to, like, it must be things you like or things you want to do. Just maybe you're trying to achieve a goal as a content creator now. Like, I love to create content. Okay, it is something I am passionate about, because honestly, when you do not want to be consistent or you do not want to do certain things, passion is something that is going to push you. Because there are times where you don't even want to do anything. You don't want to create. You don't want to talk to anybody. But the passion, like, I'm thinking about like, what God has committed into your hands, right? You're like, no, I have to do this. I have to do this. You know, people that are wealthy, they have really great habits. They see the likes of Tony and Numelu. You are seeing them everywhere. They are going for meetings. They are doing everything. Like, you know, they're just doing everything, like training people and doing all of that. So, like, if you know, there's this Burna Boy song that says the Dangote is still looking for money. So, like, who am I not to look for money? Even Dangote, that is like always on list of wealthiest men in the world, or like wealthiest man in Africa. I don't know if he is still the wealthiest man in Africa. He's always doing things. Dangote cement, Dangote this, Dangote that, because you have to just keep staying on top of mind. You know, you have to keep standing on business so people can take you seriously, and you can also like build trust, you know, with your community. Number 3, you have to choose to stay focused. Like there'll be distractions. There'll be distractions. And some distractions could be like, let's say as a content creator now, like people are not, you know, cheering you on, you're not seeing results. Trust me, it could be discouraging. Some days I'm just like, people are not even seeing my content. You're posting on Instagram, you're posting on YouTube, you've not even hit, you know, your 4,000 watch hours, you have set goals, you know, you're quite ambitious. Even when it feels like, you know, people are not seeing your content, people are not engaging, you just have to show up. Like, you have to stay focused. I feel like that is one of like, you just have to decide that you want to be consistent, and you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing. As a content creator as well, or in life generally, I feel like for you to stay consistent, right, you need to batch create or have to-do lists, like to properly plan. So that way, so for example, if you say, okay, today I want to wake up 5 a.m. to pray, right? You set your alarm, you write it on your to-do list, you wake up today 5 a.m. Consistency is you doing it because you've decided, okay, I want to wake up 5 a.m. every day to pray or to do something, and you doing it is like, okay, you showing up, creating a to-do list, you know, for as a content creator, batch creating content. Like, for example, and people wonder, okay, content creators are always like putting out content every day. The truth is, some content creators, they batch create their content, and I am one of them. Some content I shared, it might be content I have created since last year, because I respect my time. I have things I am doing. Wisdom is profitable. Like, you have to be wise when, you know, also choosing to be consistent. So anything to make your work easier. You don't want to wait until last minute before you now decide, oh, this is when I want to do it, or no. It might make being consistent really, 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 really difficult. So as a content creator, you want to batch create your content. So for example, you can tell, okay, today I'm shooting and I'm going to shoot like 4 different videos. One could be, okay, before I do my makeup, I am doing skincare. Or at the end of my makeup, I'm going to like get on ready with me. That's one skincare content. And that could just be like maybe a fun video for TikTok. If you're a content creator that posts on TikTok and you do something fun, that's already 2. Number 3, you can also like create, let's say, like makeup content, right? So like, get ready with me, you're doing your makeup, you're showing people how to, like, you know, you can batch create content, and you can repurpose your content as well. These are ways you show up, like, and you have to properly plan. I feel like planning is an essential part of staying consistent. Like, if you don't plan very well, it might make it difficult for you to be consistent long term. Another very important tip to staying consistent is praying. Honestly, I'm not like Dawad Oli or the most spiritual person, but I have realized that even before creating my content, right, I have to pray about it, right? Even when I'm thinking of ideas, like, I have to pray about it. Even when I have planned that, okay, I'm filming today, I still have to pray, because God brings ideas. Like, I know the things to prep for, and praying also gives me strength that helps me to stay consistent. Because trust me, sometimes you're just so tired, or things are going on that you don't want to do anything, but just pray that God help me. God help me. Like, and this is God always comes through. God always helps me. Like, even when I do, people are like, okay, how do you even have strength to shoot, to film, to still attend to other things, to be active in church, to still serve in different departments, and to still keep putting out content consistently, guys? Since I started YouTube, I feel like the only time I have not posted on my YouTube channel, I think it was just once I didn't post on my YouTube channel. Or was it so? I think it was once. And that was because I think something was happening at that point. I probably had just gotten back from Fashion Week and I didn't post. I needed to take some time off, considering the fact that Fashion Week was very hectic. I was legit posting on other platforms like every day. And you know, I was switching from different outfits, the shows, and I think that was the only time I didn't post. But since I started posting on YouTube, I have been posting every Sunday. Every Sunday, I'm posting on Shorts, I'm posting on Instagram, I'm posting everywhere. Like, it's not because I'm like the most how do I, or I have like like large following, or I have hit my 4,000 watch hours. I just like, no, even starting out on YouTube, okay, you have to be consistent. Like if other people have the luxury of posting maybe like once in 2 weeks or maybe once in 2 months, you have not gotten there. You can't even start to do that right now. So you have to be diligent. You have to be consistent. So praying is very important, either as a content creator, even for work. When you're trying to do certain things at work, you have to pray. When you're trying to do whatever it is, you have to pray. Prayer is also going to help you stay consistent. Like you have a conversation about God, like this is what I'm trying to do. Help me to stay consistent. The ideas, the strength, and everything. And truth is, all these little prayers or things you think that are irrelevant, they're actually like very relevant, and God will definitely listen to your prayers. Then is a decision you have to make. You have to understand the vision. You have to, why do you want to stay consistent? If you don't want to stay consistent, like it is not by force, right? But I feel like it yields results, and people that are consistent are taken much more serious. Like it shows in your lifestyle, even the way you interact with people, the way you handle certain things. And you know, one thing is, if you are not faithful in the little, right, or whatever platform God has given you, you're not consistent, you're not diligent, how do you expect God to commit a bigger platform or bigger opportunities into your hands? No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be doing something for God to bless what you already have. You know, I know it's not really about like, being everywhere, but when you're consistent, like I said before, the Bible already says, even if you're diligent, because even the Bible understands how important it is for you to do things like the works of your hands, be consistent, be diligent, so that God can actually bring the right opportunities your way. So I think it's like very, very important. I didn't want this video to be too long. I'm not sure how many minutes now, but when I'm editing, I'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I don't know about you. And as a Christian, like you have no excuse not to be consistent. Even down to studying the Bible, you have to be consistent, because how do you learn? How do you know what God has promised? How do you know what God is saying about certain situations or what you're supposed to do if you're not consistent in studying the word? So yes, guys, you have to stay consistent. I don't know about you guys, but I have decided to remain consistent for the rest of my life. I know life happens, even if you're not consistent for a period, and thankfully, I think when I was transitioning from Ukraine to Nigeria, and I had to be off maybe just for like a couple of, maybe a month or like some weeks, right? Because I also try not to be gone for too long. I would explain to my audience. I would try to be accountable, like, oh guys, this is the reason why I have been MIA, stuff like that, because it also builds trust and also better relationship with your community. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Also, let me know in the comment section, what other benefits of being consistent and what other tips to staying consistent do you know or do you have for me? I'm also like still open to learning more about consistency. Thank you so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye bye.